the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
36 IB troops discover armed cache in Surigao del Sur. Philippine and U.S. Air Forces airlift relief to typhoon-hit Batanes. DPWH says EDSA repair to possibly begin in 2027. FIVOX cancels tsunami alert.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Thursday, July 31, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rob Susanabay here to bring you today's story.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, troops from the 36th Infantry Battalion recovered a weapons during a focused operation in Barangay Pangi, Tandag City, Surigao del Sur. Responding on reliable intelligence, soldiers seized an M14 rifle, 6 empty magazines, a bandolier, and 5 rifle grenades. Acting Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Joselito Ante Jr. credited the successful mission to disciplined execution and strong community cooperation. He also urged the remaining armed groups to surrender and avail the government's ECLIP program for reintegration and livelihood support.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The United States Air Force deployed its CV-22 Osprey to help the Philippine Air Force deliver relief goods to typhoon-affected Basco, Batanes yesterday. A total of 300 boxes of food packs were flown from Clark Air Base, with PAF personnel assisting in unloading and distribution. A day earlier, the PAF used its C-130 and Black Hawk aircraft to transfer the aid to Batanes and Abra, also evacuating stranded individuals to Manila. The joint mission, coordinated with the Office of Civil Defense and Department of Social Welfare and Development, showcased Philippine and U.S. cooperation in humanitarian response efforts.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Shaira. The Undersecretary urges Congress to amend AFP modernization law.
Yes, good afternoon. Defense Secretary Gilberto Chodoro Jr. urged Congress to amend the Armed Forces of the Philippines Modernization Law to better respond to fast-evolving security threats. Speaking at the post-SONA discussions in San Juan City, he called for more flexible legislations to keep pace with rapid technological changes and expanding defense responsibilities. Secretary Chodoro stressed the need to align acquisitions with the AFP's growing area of operations and focus on multi-domain defense. He also linked a stronger AFP to the success of the country's independent foreign policy and effective deterrence. This is Shai Rivera reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaira.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Eastern Mindanao Command successfully concluded its 3-day Reserve Force Joint Training Exercise Andam 2025 in Basilisa, Dinagat Islands. The large-scale drill enhanced the coordination between reserve and regular forces and focused on both combat readiness and disaster response. Participants from the Army, Navy, and Air Force, and also the Marines engaged in realistic scenarios, including the humanitarian operations and warfighting simulations. SMINCOM emphasized the exercise as a strategic step toward the strengthening interoperability and national defense capabilities.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Authorities arrested a 53-year-old suspected drug pusher in a buy-bus operation led by Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency BARM and the 34th Infantry Battalion in Barangay Balacayon, Pahamudin, SGA BARM. The suspect, identified as alias Mascud, was caught with 9 sachets of suspected shabu weighing 5 grams worth 34,000 pesos. Operatives also seized drug paraphernalia, firearms, ammunition, and a hand grenade during the raid. He now faces multiple charges for illegal drugs, firearms possession, and explosives.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Gio about 10th RCDG Commander praises the cadets' leadership growth at a rapid completion.
Yes, Rof, Colonel Bernard T. Ragus, commander of the 10th Regional Community Defense Group, Reserve Command, Philippine Army, commended Reserve Officers Training Corps cadets for their discipline and resilience. Speaking as keynote speaker during the ARAPT graduation ceremony, he emphasized that the training develops ethical, service-oriented leaders for both military and civilian roles. Major Roel B. Tagala and his team led the successful implementation of the training and ceremonial events. The ceremony marked the cadets' transition from academic learners to future-ready contributors to national peace and development. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines thank President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. for his unwavering support for the military's modernization program. AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. highlighted the recent acquisitions, including warships, combat helicopters, tanks, and cyber defense upgrades during the 2025 post-SONA discussions in San Juan City. He noted the arrival of new frigates, corvettes, Black Hawk helicopters, and the upcoming delivery of FA-50 fighter jets and offshore patrol vessels. General Browner emphasized that these assets will boost national defense and enhance the AFP's response to natural disasters.
DWDD National News.
And for our national news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. obtained higher trust and satisfaction ratings in the latest survey conducted by the Octa Research Group. Some 20% distrusted the president, down from 23%. Meanwhile, those who were undecided decreased from 18% to 16%. The president's satisfaction rating also improved from 59% in April to 62% in July.
Armed Forces Radio.
And from our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Glenn about Tog 1 rescue teams intensify search for missing man in Baguio.
Yes, Rolf, the Tactical Operations Group 1 continued search and rescue efforts for a 35-year-old man swept away by a river in Barangay Kias amid ongoing monsoon rains. The man was last seen on July 29 after reportedly slipping near the water. Search and rescue teams from TOG 1, City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office, Barangay Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, in the Philippine Military Academy expanded operations to Sitio Liwliw in Apukao, Itugon, using a live locator device. Authorities remain committed in locating the missing person despite adverse weather conditions. This is Glenn Nicholson reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Glenn.
DWDD National News.
The reorganization of Senate committee chairmanships is almost complete. For now, only 3 out of 41 panels are vacant. The 5-member Senate minority bloc was given committee chairmanships of the same panels they led in the 19th Congress. Senators Lauren Legarda, Riza Hontiveros, and Juan Miguel Zubiri retained their committee of chairmanship in the 20th Congress. However, Senator Lito Lapid, who belongs to the majority bloc, has yet to be given a committee.
DWDD National News.
Senator Joseph Victor Ejercito pushed for the immediate passage of Senate Bill 1, which seeks to allocate an additional 74.4 billion pesos in subsidies for the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. Ejercito said that the full implementation of the Universal Health Care Law and the relief it promises to millions of Filipinos hinges on the timely release of the funds. He added that what is needed are funding and the aggressive implementation of the law. The senator also emphasized that the supplemental budget for PhilHealth is the key to sustaining the implementation of zero-balance billing in government hospitals.
Armed Forces Radio.
And from NOLCOM, let us hear some information from Joanne about National Security Forces confirmed collapse of Komiteng Rehiyong Gitnang Luzon.
The National Joint Peace and Security Coordinating Center officially affirmed the dismantling of the Comiteng Region Gitnang Luzon or KRGL Regional Party Committee through JPSCC Resolution Number 1 Series of 2025. This declaration followed the thorough deliberation and validation of Area Clearing Validation Committee on joint operational reports submitted by the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police units. KRGL's dismantling met all parameters outlined in AFP-PNP Joint Letter Directive Number 3, Series of 2020. The AFP and PNP commended the Joint Task Force Kaugnay and the Police Regional Office 3 for their exemplary commitment to the successful execution of counter-insurgency operations. A key contributor to this success was the neutralization of 10 communist terrorist group elements, including 4 identified high-value individuals on June 26, 2024 at Kilometer 6 Barangay Malbang, Pantabangan, Nueva Ecija. The operation was led by the Joint Task Group Aguila under the leadership of then Brigadier General Joseph Norwin Pasamonte, the present commander of the 7th Infantry Kaugnay Division Philippine Army. Major General Pasamonte emphasized the importance of sustaining the gains achieved and preventing any resurgence of insurgency in the region. He reaffirmed 7ID's commitment to continuing peace and development programs in affected areas, highlighting the need to address the root causes of insurgency through sustained interagency coordination and a whole-of-nation approach. This is John Sagak reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from Nolcom.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Public Works and Highways will likely defer major repair work on EDSA until 2027. DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan said it may not be practicable to do it now since the Philippines is hosting the ASEAN meeting in 2026. He said the agency already submitted its recommendation to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on how to fast-track the EDSA repair. The DPWH chief added that they are looking at what technology they can use to make the work faster since the president does not want the lanes on EDSA to be closed for too long.
DWDD National News.
Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto and Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon inspected the site of the Ortigas station of the Metro Manila subway project. This comes as the Department of Transportation addressed the major right-of-way hurdle affecting the project's rollout in Pasig City. Ortigas Station, located along Meralco Avenue, is the last portion of the subway alignment facing land acquisition issues. Dizon said the resolution of this issue would allow construction to begin in the coming weeks.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more of this from Jim Boy about 93rd IB empowers Leyte youth against drugs and terrorism.
The 93rd Infantry Bantay Kapayapaan Battalion joined the Kabataan Kontra Droga at Terorismo awareness program in Barangay Leperdad, Cananga, Leyte. The event aimed to educate young participants on the danger of illegal drugs and terrorism while promoting informed decision-making and civic responsibility. 93rd IB Commander Lieutenant Colonel Celeste Frank L. Sison encouraged the youth to be proactive in nation building and community safety. The program highlighted the Army's and local government unit joint effort to inspire youth as key partner in sustaining peace and development. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jimboy.
DWDD National
For
News.
other national news, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology issued and later canceled a tsunami advisory yesterday. This follows a powerful magnitude 8.7 earthquake that struck off the east coast of Kamchatka, Russia. According to FIVOX, the tremor occurred at 7:25 a.m. Philippine time at a depth of 74 kilometers and was expected to generate tsunami waves of less than 1 meter in coastal areas of the Philippines facing the Pacific Ocean. The first waves were expected to hit between 1:20 p.m. and 2:40 p.m. yesterday. However, FIVOX noted that these may not be the largest, and wave activity could persist for hours.
DWDD National News.
The Commission on Elections is expecting President Fer Marcos Jr. to defer the barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections scheduled in December. COMELEC Chairperson George Erwin Garcia said Marcos would likely sign a proposal extending the terms of barangay and SK officials. Garcia explained that the palace has not shown any indication that the proposal will be vetoed. The proposal, which was approved by Congress, resets the BSKE from December to November 2026.
Armed Forces Radio.
And some information from Mike about 49th IB and CMO trainees promote peace and development in Albay.
Troops of the 49th Infantry Good Samaritan Battalion and CMO trainees from the 19th Infantry Division held a sectorial social awareness program in Barangay Malabago, Ginubatan, Albay. They engaged with members of the Small Water Irrigation System Association to boost awareness and link communities with government support. The initiative aimed to strengthen unity, promote peace, and enhance community development through security education. The 49th IB reaffirmed its commitment in supporting local projects that fostering cooperation and lasting peace. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, up to 797 police officers are under investigation. This is in connection with 208 administrative cases being handled by the Internal Affairs Service following a major internal review initiated by the Philippine National Police Chief General Nicolas Torre III. IAS Inspector General Brigido Dulay said 82 of the cases were motu proprio investigations triggered by incidents such as police operations resulting in a fatality, injury, or indiscriminate firing. Of the 208 cases, 9 have been resolved, 33 are under review, 78 are being readied for formal charges, and 88 are undergoing summary hearings.
DWDD National News.
Presidential Communications Undersecretary Claire Castro will remain as Palace Press Officer. This was confirmed by Presidential Communications Acting Secretary Dave Gomez. Gomez confirmed the designation of Castro through a special order he signed last July 29. The PCO chief earlier ordered all political appointees at the agency to submit their courtesy resignation as part of the revamp of the palace's communications arm.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Meljoy of first-year GIABOT PLGU Kagayan extends support to civilian active auxiliary members.
Yes, Rolf, the provincial government of Kagayan under the leadership of Governor Edgar Aglipay provided a total of 450 sacks of rice to Citizen Armed Force Geographical Unit active auxiliary members at the Cagayan provincial capital as its steadfast support for the selfless service of the CAFGU. The rice allowances were personally handed over by the Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office and formally received by Lieutenant Colonel Ford G. Alciao, commanding officer of the 17th Infantry Battalion, along with his officers. This will be distributed to all Citizen Armed Forces Geographical Unit patrol bases across the province. Governor Aglipay emphasized that its initiative reflects the provincial government's strong commitment to recognizing the crucial role of the Citizen Armed Force Geographical Unit members in maintaining peace and order in Cagayan. Lieutenant Colonel Alciao expressed gratitude for the provincial government's continued support, highlighting how such assistance significantly boosts the morale of Citizen Armed Force Geographical Unit members in fulfilling their mission. This initiative reaffirms the enduring partnership between the provincial government of Cagayan and the Philippine Army in advancing peace and development efforts throughout the province. This is Meljoy Nesho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy of First CRG.
Armed Forces Radio.
Providing first-hand information, our reporter Jai joins us with the latest information about PBBM appoints the new Commanding General of Philippine Army. Go, Jai.
Yes, Rolf, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. appointed Lieutenant General Antonio G. Navarrete as the 67th Commanding General of the Philippine Army. Army spokesperson Colonel Louis G. Di Maala described him as a seasoned leader known for integrity and extensive experience in promoting peace and development. The Army expressed full support for his leadership, especially in advancing modernization and operational readiness. The organization also reaffirmed its continued commitment to national service under his command. This is Jai reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ajay.
DWDD National News.
And 9 employees of the Bureau of Customs assigned at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 3 have been sacked for alleged extortion. Customs Commissioner Ariel Nepomuceno said that a relief order has already been served to the concerned personnel who were also directed to report to the BOC main office at the Port of Manila. Nepomuceno said they take corruption issues seriously. He also added that there will be no leniency for personnel who abuse their position, and any form of misconduct will be met with immediate and appropriate action.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Ralph Susan Abay for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.